Hello and welcome. In this lecture, I'm going to walk you through a simple Git workflow illustration. The workflow process begins with the working directory. So this is actually your project directory that contains all your files. Say, for example, we are working on a file and we're going to call it sample text 1, and we're going to make this version 1, which is the original. And we have finished working with the file. We want to push it into the Git repository. What we need to do first is move it into the staging area. So we use the git add command to add the file and move it to the staging area. The file becomes available in the staging area. While the file is in the staging area, you can still remove it. At this stage, it is being tracked by Git. So to move the file from the staging area into the actual Git repository, we need another command called git commit. So we'll commit the file into the repository. The file becomes available inside the repository. So that's the original file. Say, for example, we want to edit the same file. We finish editing. That will now become version number 2. So we'll now add that version that we have just edited. We move that into the staging area. So once that file is in the staging area, again, we do a git commit, and that file becomes available to the repository. So now in the Git repository, we have 2 versions of the file. If for any reason there's a corruption, or once we've updated just remember that the file, the latest commit is always the current, that becomes a current. Say, for example, we updated sample text 2. And that caused a lot of problems, and people complained that things were going wrong. What we have to do, we just have to revert back to sample text 1. So the good thing about Git is that it keeps all the versions, so you can always revert back if there's a problem with any of the updates. So this happens a lot in big environments with large user base. Once there's a major change, if there's any issues, they can always revert back to the previous versions. So that's it for this lecture on the illustration of the Git workflow.